Okay, hey everyone. This is just a test, my very first live stream. And let me check here. I have trying to see if I can also be able, in case anyone joins or for future events, to be able to see comments on my iPad. Anyway, today I decided to play with the Spellbinders May Kits of the Month. So I have already one card made here. This uses the embossing folder of the month and also the small die of the month. It's a stitching die. So I had this one on my Instagram account last night. So it's pretty fun die. I really enjoy the stitching dies. So those are separate stamp and die sets that were released a couple months ago. I think it was February. The months just blend together since I had surgery February 16th, and I think those were released around that time. I can't quite remember, but anyway, I decided to use the stamp and die set of the month and make a quick card or a couple of them. But this is the small die of the month. This is the large die of the month. I'm missing the thank you, the little dies from thank you. I have them right here. I was just cutting some stuff. So this is like the stamp and die set of the month. This is just the die that I stitched in rainbow. And then I have another one on black cardstock. So I'll make some cards pretty soon, and I'll put them on my blog and Instagram account. This is the glimmer of the month. So I'll put all that aside for now, and I will start with this one. So let me I'll get out my MISTI, and here I just wanted to show you, this is the embossing folder of the month. So this is large one. It's 5.5 by 8.5. So I have it embossed on pink cardstock. I have it here in white. I'm making some cards. They're in process of. I'm using the small die of the month, just a hello, and I'll do a rainbow hello on black and on white background and see how the difference is. So I have here in yellow, that's from leftover from this card here. And I have also leftover from the black that I cut to make my card. And I have a bunch of other cardstock we're not going to use right now. So let me just get some white cardstock panels. So what I'll do, this is an octagon. So let me put this aside. I'll use black ink, and we're gonna stamp and emboss. I just like how black is embossed, but then we're just gonna use this one as a guide to stamp those triangles into this hexagon. So once we have everything stamped on our panels, we want to have the black outline. We'll just have the triangles, and I'll go in, I'll do a rainbow. So I'll stamp that to the side, and then we're just gonna add a sentiment using black ink. Okay, I'm just gonna grab embossing buddy to prime my cardstock so that ink doesn't stick. Also, I forgot to get a grit paper, so I have a handy printer paper. I don't want any black ink on my mat of the MISTI. So we'll do that here. Priming that. And I'm using VersaFine Clair and it's great when you're doing embossing. So I'll stamp one more time. Okay. I have my embossing powder here. Okay. So now I apologize for the loud noise. Okay, so we're done with embossing for now. Okay, so I'll put this one back in, and we're going to use this one as a guide. Let me just grab a magnet. Apologize, my arm is... Okay, so next this triangle is meant to fit here. So I'll put that in. Hopefully I won't leave any black marks. Let me just get... I'm gonna clean my stamp. Okay. Remove that one. Put it back here. Okay, so I have already pre-selected ink pads. I have firm foam pad ink pads. So I have rainbow selection of 8, since we have 8 triangles, octagon. I have selection from My Favorite Things, Simon Says stamp, and that's it. I thought I had chose one from Concord at 9, but apparently I did not. So like me, this is never used. So I have the Pawsitively saturated inks, and I have the My Favorite Things inks. So let's get started now. Let's start with the... Actually, I'm gonna move this one here. We're gonna do yellow and then green, yellow, green. This is SEAFOAM. Then we're gonna do blue, purple, and we're gonna just keep going in rainbow order to finish the hexagon. So I have that one there. I'm gonna make sure that this doesn't move. And I'm just gonna get some wipes to wipe the stamp between colors. So that's the reason that I'm also starting with the lightest one. So I don't want any contamination, especially not on the yellow and the lighter colors. I think that's a pretty nice yellow. So while I have this everything positioned here, what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stamp a few of those so I have extras. So here I have stack of cardstock. Let's hope that stays there. So this one is lemon chiffon from My Favorite Things. So I have one. Let's do 3 or 4. honestly don't know how many pieces of cardstock I stuck here. But we're gonna end up with a few cards that are the same. If you want to do different kind of rainbows, like more pastel or more bright, you can switch colors too. But for this one, I just decided I have one more here to just go with the same kind of rainbow for all of them. Okay, so we have all of those. So let's see. I have 4, and then this is the 5th one. So we're gonna turn this one into card 2. Or guide. So we're done with the lemon chiffon. And next I'll go with Limelight. Just gonna clean my stamp. If I'm transferring between a red to orange or something like that, like or blue, I would use the stamp cleaner to clean my stamp. Otherwise the wipe will, especially if I'm going from yellow to green. If I go from yellow to blue, I would clean the stamp nicely, since it worked. I don't want turning into green. Okay. Maybe this is good on the first stamp, so we just need to stamp once for each one of those. So I'll put the same stack again and repeat the same thing. I think that's good. And then one more. And just try to straighten this up. Okay, so we're done with the green. Clean my stamp again. So we have 6 more colors to go. I'll put back my guide. Position the stamp again here. And then I will be using the someone says stamp, oops, SEAFOAM ink, positively saturated. Okay, that looks nice also with one stamping, one pass. So I'll put again the stack. See here, so I'm gonna clean that stamp. And actually the hair is on my ink pad. Okay, let's try this again. And once the live is over, I will post the supplies in the comments. So you know what I used for today's cards. Actually, I'll stamp a couple times here. I just want a little bit darker full color or SEAFOAM color. Okay, I'm gonna clean my door of the MISTI here so I don't transfer onto the white cardstock. Hello, God's Desire for me. So this is the last one. I'm gonna stamp one more time to even out that color. Okay, so now we're done with the pool color, the SEAFOAM. We're gonna move to the fourth color. So next I will use blue. This is something blue from My Favorite Things. Just need to make sure that the stamp is dry. Then I'm gonna move it. Over here. Okay. This is very nice blue, and I see again I have a hair on the stamp. I'm gonna clean that up. Dry it. And try again. Okay. Okay, that's pretty nice. I really like that blue. When it dries, it will be a little bit lighter. Hey, I'm doing good. How are you? Thanks for joining my first live testing. I appreciate you being here. Okay. So next I put all the remaining 3 in there. I think that's good. When it dries, the color will even out a little bit more. And also it will lighten up. Yeah, it's very bold blue. But it's gonna dry a little bit lighter. I have it here on the side of the ink pad, and it's a little bit more, it's lighter blue. Okay, so we're done with that one. We have 4 more colors to go, and I have grape jelly, cotton candy, Moroccan spice, and sherbet. My kids keep calling the sherbet, so I'm kind of getting confused. Okay, so we are going to, I'm gonna line this one here. So next I'm using My Favorite Things grape jelly. This is a bold one too. Hopefully it will dry a little bit lighter. Actually, I will change that one for a little bit lighter purple. Okay, I just grabbed Catherine Puller Designs ink, 16 candles. This is a little bit light, this is lighter purple. Let me just, thank you. So I think this is pretty good purple. So I have 2 more panels here. And then the last one, and then we'll have 3 colors left. Okay, so this dried a little bit lighter, but it's not still, it's kind of dark. So I'm glad I went with the lighter color. So next I will use cotton candy from My Favorite Things. Again, I will line this one here. Okay. Thank you. Again, I have a hair. This pink is very close to that purple. I think I'm gonna swap the pink too. Okay, swap the pink for It's a Girl from Catherine Puller. So this is more kind of red pink instead of purple pink like the other one. Hey Beverly, thanks for joining in. One more here. Okay, so yes, that's pink is kind of blends together with those 2 colors, the lighter purple that I use. So I think it looks much better with the Catherine Puller Designs It's a Girl pink. Okay, next we have orange and red. So what I'll do, I'll go a little bit backwards. I'll go the orange, then the red. So because the red is usually harder to get off the stamp and it tends to leave some residue in the stamp and then interfere with the next color. Let me just try this one. Gonna line it up here. Yeah, when I'm using the MISTI, I tend to make multiple cards at once since I have everything set up. I feel like it's waste not to do so. So next I'm using the Simon Says stamp SHERBET. Let's see how orange is this one. Okay, I think this is pretty good and I don't need to swap this one. So I'll just put the whole stack here. just between stamping, I make sure that my stack of paper is still nicely snug in the corner so it doesn't shift. And then one last one, and then we have red left. And then we can just add sentiment and add those two card bases. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this one again, our guide. I think that's pretty good there. And I have here Moroccan spice from my favorite things. Let's see how red is this one. I think I'll use darker red. I'll swap this color too. Let me just get a darker red. Yeah, the orange is very beautiful. I really like that orange. So I swapped the Moroccan spice for red hot. So see, let's see how that looks. Okay, I think that's better for the rainbow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp the rest. Hey Ingrid, thanks for joining me. And I think there's one left. Okay, so here all the stamped. You can see this one, it's the one that I used the darker pink. After that, I switched to the lighter pink, more red pink than purple pink. So let's turn those into cards, add sentiment and turn into card. Just gonna remove that stamp. Okay, I put the stamp set somewhere that I was planning to use. Oh gosh, I don't know what I did with the stamp sets. Okay, sorry about that, I found them. So this is also from Spellbinders. They were in, I believe they were the February release. There's one set, it's called Happy Birthday Sentiments. Let me just try to get this one stuck to the magnet. So those are the Happy Birthday Sentiments. And then the other one is Thank You, and there's coordinating died for the scripty Thank You. And the other one is the scripty Happy Birthday. So let me try to see which one we can use. What do you think? Should we do Thank You or Happy Birthday? I'm kind of indecisive at the moment. Yeah, Spellbinders has been kicking it out of the park with the releases lately. Ah, I smeared this one. So I guess this is not gonna be turned into a card. Okay. Let me just wipe my hands with baby wipe. I think I have a red residue on my hands and leaving marks everywhere. Okay, let's go with thank you. Oh, no wonder it's leaving marks. My ink pad is open. Okay, there we go. Just wanted to say thank you for everything. Or thank you for your kindness. Let me just get the grid here, so make sure those are nice and straight. Yeah, I do have some of those erasers actually. I have a bazillion of those, but there's red on the orange and the yellow, so that's gonna come out with the orange and the yellow. I can probably just cut it out and put it like a sentiment right there. I apologize if you see my head here. Trying to line this one up. And then okay, I think that's straight. Now I messed it up again. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this one here. Okay, hopefully this time it's gonna work. Need to press harder. Probably it's not a good idea to have that. Okay, the magnet on top of the grid. I'm using again I really like for sentiments especially the VersaFine Clair. It really gives nice dark and crisp image. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna do the rest the same. For some reason it looks crooked, maybe because it's a hexagon, it's diagonal. Let me just double check here. Trying to find my T ruler. Actually, I just use the grid. Make sure that that's straight. Yeah, that's pretty straight. Okay. How do you like the VersaFine Clair? So we have all of those. Let me just put. Okay, so I'm gonna die cut my panels, and I'll use, those are also Spellbinders dies. Those are like this Clair's dies. I forget the exact name. So let me see here. This is almost the 4 inches. Let me see if I can go with a little bit smaller, and then we can create a. Okay, we can go with this one and this one. So the difference between the two sets for those layers, it's like 16th of an inch, and like it gives you a very nice and tiny border around, just to give a little bit of kind of border and ground that white matte. I like putting white on white, but when I have I'll do black here, a little bit of black. It kind of gives a little bit more contrast and looks nicer. Let me just grab my die cutting machine. Yeah, those are really handy. Also, they have like the mini slimline, and those are pretty nice too. So I have here paper. Just gonna put this a little bit crooked in my die cutting machine. It kind of helps it go better through it, so it doesn't get stuck. And what I'll do, since I just stamped with the black ink, I'm just gonna put this one so the ink doesn't transfer onto my cutting pads. I have some tape here. So you can see here, there is the, we saved this one from transferring onto the plate and onto the next project. And I'll do the same for the next tree. Okay, we have 2 more to go. Just gonna get different piece of paper here. one more. Oh no, I put this one on the wet wipe. Okay, I'm just gonna move it a little bit further so that piece is gonna get cut off. And we're gonna save the panel. Okay, so we have all our panels. I'm just gonna cut quickly the black mats. Before that, I need to remove this tape. So you can see how thin the mat is around here. Two and two more. I need to cut this piece of cardstock. Okay, I have my trimmer here. Let me just clear up some things here. Okay, what do you think? If do we need to add any like enamel dots to the panels, like maybe black going diagonally, or just leave them plain and simple? I mean, clean and simple without any bling, so it's easier for the cards to go through the mail. So we have those. We need some panels, and also have some cardstock that I use for adding dimension. Instead of foam, I use a stack of cardstock. It's easier for the cards to go through the mail, and usually they're much sturdier than using foam. craft foam or foam tape. And I have some top folding note cards here that we're gonna use. I'll need 4. I have 3, those are not scored. So I'll score this one. Okay, there are 4 note cards. I'm using liquid glue. It gives me more time to move the layers, make sure that they're nice and centered on the next layer on the mat. I had forgotten my glue open for since last night, but I did not have any issues getting clogged. Okay. Let me just, I could not make it straight there. This is why I liked the liquid glue. It doesn't get stuck right away. I have time to fix my mistakes. I think this is much better. Yeah. I have my pressure tool here. That's for, it was made for the MISTI, but I liked when I'm adhering layers to use it to press down to make sure that's nice and adhered, especially when I do die cuts, when I stack those die cuts up. Okay, one more. And we're almost done here. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in comment, and once I'm done, I'll do my best to answer. If you have any questions or any comments, again, I really appreciate you coming to my very first live stream. To be honest, I didn't expect anyone. especially not this late, especially late on the East Coast. Now I have a hard time lining this one up. Thank you, Beverly. Okay. Thanks. So now I'm using the scrap cardstock. So I'll stack 3 of them. And you can use anything that you have handy, even like if it's left over from packaging. I just don't have anything, so I have pre-cut heavyweight, inexpensive heavyweight cardstock. For stamping for the panels, I did use Hammermill cardstock. I find it great for copy coloring, for stamping, and also for foiling. So just buy it in bulk on Amazon, like a whole ream of Hammermill. Then I take it to FedEx to cut it into A2 panels. So this is exactly, okay. So now I'll just add to my top folding note cards. And the note cards are from Pink and Main. The unscored one, that's like Hammermill cardstock, cut into 4 1/4 by 11, and then I just scored it now in half to create that note card. So you can either stack them 3 on top of each other, or just stack directly onto your panel. And I see this one is a little bit larger. I'm just gonna get my scissors, make sure I don't cut that black layer. And no one's gonna see what's underneath there. I'm gonna do the same just in case. So there are 2 of them. Now let me just get some, let's see how it looks with enamel dots. Have here stack of them, different colors. I'll just do black. I think that looks pretty good. It just gives it a little bit more interest. I need to cut those too. And in case you're using foam tape, I'll just grab, I'll do the last one using foam tape instead of stack of cardstock. Another trick for lining it up is to add the liquid adhesive on top of the foam tape. So it gives you a little bit more wiggle room than just putting the foam tape directly onto your panel, onto your card base. So it gives you a little bit more room to line up that panel. Okay. So I have my big roll of foam tape right here. So when I do foam tape, I like to have the entire back covered, so when it goes through the mail, I don't have, in case it gets squished, I don't have mountains and valleys on the card. So try to do this as close to each other, all the foam tape as possible. So I have here, I'm gonna put some tape there too. I found the tape to be easier to cut when I'm not cutting to the sticky side, so I'm doubling this one up. Actually, no, I can't do that. I'll need to, because the rest of the layers, the rest of the foam tape was single layer. I can double it up. Let's see, almost there. Okay, then we have space here. Just gonna use this one. Okay, so this is our last card, and we're just gonna add enamel dots on the other cards too, and we're gonna be done for that. We will be done for tonight. So as you can see here, I'm adding liquid adhesive on the back. I'm gonna put it very lightly onto my card base, and then once I'm satisfied with how it's positioned, then I'll press down. So also that adhesive is going to act as a barrier between the cardstock and the foam tape. I think that's pretty good. I think I'll need more black enamel dots. Thank you. I need one of the large ones. Okay, so here are cards, 4 cards from tonight. And unfortunately, I was not able to turn this one into a card since I could probably just cut it around. There is actually coordinating die. Actually, let's do that very quickly. Let's see. I had a die somewhere. And of course, I cannot find it now. But the die cuts, this is the rectangle. Not rectangle, it's octagon that the die cuts, and I think it's a little bit larger than that, so it's not gonna cover. So I'm just gonna trim around with my scissors. You know what? There's a lot of red marks here, so I don't think we can save this one. But my plan was to use this one, and then where are my panels? This is one of the embossed panels that I have from using the May embossing folder of the month. Add it here to the side and just add embossed sentiment on black cardstock embossed with white. So thank you so much for sticking with me tonight and my first live, and I hope that I think I'll start doing those Saturday nights after my kids go to bed, so it's nice and quiet and they're not yelling and screaming while I'm trying to talk or make something. So here are the dies. Those are the dies that how the die cuts. This is without the octagon frame. This is with the octagon frame. So I haven't finished those cards yet. So I'll have those probably done by tomorrow. Thank you. Have a great evening, everyone.